Hey everyone, welcome to the Morning Grind podcast. I'm your host, Stevietpfl. It's Friday, April 11th. We have a giant 13-game MLB slate for tonight. We gotta love these huge Friday night baseball slates. Nothing better than it, right? We have a ton of pitching, a ton of hitting, a lot to talk about. And with it being such a large slate, we have a good opportunity to get a lot of lower ownership. And I mean, I always think these types of big slates, there's always an edge to finding that edge, right? So, like these slates, excited for this one, excited to break it down. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button over there on YouTube. What's up, chat? Todd, Anthony, D. Johnson, Dave, Derek. Hope you're all having a fantastic Thursday night here. Good baseball slate for me on Thursday, so I'm in a good mood. Looking at this one, we have a lot to get through, so we're just gonna jump right in. I do appreciate there's a couple people that sent the podcast over some donations over there on Twitter. I forgot to write the names down. I'm sorry. I will try to remember to give you a shout out next podcast. But just wanted to say appreciate you, and let's have some fun. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of games to get through today. We start with Toronto at Baltimore. 8 total pick'em game in this one. Francis against Sugnano. Is I think how he pronounces his name. So we'll call him that. Gus, let's ride. Yeah, I agree. Let's ride. Hope everyone enjoyed the first day of the Masters. It's that time of the year where we've got some Masters going as well. We'll start here on the Toronto side. Bowden Francis pitching for Toronto today. Really tough matchup here going up against Baltimore. This is a really tough offense. He was about an average to slightly below average strikeout pitcher last season. He started that kind of same trends this year as kind of a below average strikeout pitcher. He's not been terrible. He hasn't been excellent. He's had some strikeout upside a little bit. He pitched well against Washington, pitched okay against the Mets. Baltimore lineup is a really tough spot in general. So Gunnar Henderson, Ryan O'Hearn, Rutschman, O'Neill, Mullins, Mountcastle will eventually start hitting too. So I think this is a really tough spot for Bowden Francis. I think we can be picky today. I don't think that this is a spot I end up playing him. So Yeezy says, "What did I miss? What happened to the beard?" I have to be like at a wedding this weekend, so I had to get a haircut. The hair's all trimmed up and shave the beard, look normal. So only a couple times a year that I shave the beard. Summer in Florida, you don't really want a long beard in the summer in Florida, for what it's worth. Going over to the other side here, Sugnano pitching for Baltimore. Looked really good last time out against Kansas City. I mean, I don't know what to really expect strikeout-wise for him. He grades out so far as a below average strikeout pitcher. We haven't seen enough of him to really know what to think, but only 5 strikeouts so far and 9 1/3. I can go to the wedding with a beard, but I mean, yeah, I think that it looks a little bit more presentable without the beard. I do like a good beard, but again, Florida beards in the summer, it's just not happening, man. So Sugnano, for me, I probably pass as well. Toronto is a team where they don't have a ton of upside right now at the top half, but they don't strike out. They're still not a great strikeout matchup for pitchers. So not really interested in either one of these pitchers. Let's talk bats. As far as the Toronto bats, I mean, Jimenez has been hitting. He's off to a really strong start this year, 4,500 at second base. I think that he's playable. I know he's cooled down a little bit here over the last week or so, but he's been like the one consistent bat in this lineup. I still like Bichette. I think Bichette has upside. Obviously, Vlad got the day off on Thursday. Gets back here and, has a really solid matchup against what it looks to be a below average strikeout pitcher. So I don't mind like maybe a mini stack for Toronto, but it's a 13-game slate. We are looking for ceiling. That is what we're looking for here. So bats, I think I'm looking at a Toronto mini stack at most here, not a full stack for me. Baltimore side against Francis. I mean, Baltimore, always a team that you can play and feel good about stacking. From what we saw last year from Francis is he's going to struggle a little bit more with power to righties. So I think that brings in maybe like a Tyler O'Neill type of play, but like Gunnar Henderson and Rutschman and like these guys are so good that like you could stack Baltimore on any slate and feel good about it. So, yeah, I mean, overall for me, Tyler O'Neill's probably my favorite. Then I like Gunnar Henderson, Rutschman, O'Hearn. You get the speed power combo with Mullins. I think Baltimore, definitely a team we're targeting if the weather is good here. We'll see what Roth has to say on the weather tomorrow. Moving on, we got Atlanta going up against Tampa, 8.5 total. Another pick'em game here, 2 pick'em games to get us started. It sounds like it's going to be Elder. I've seen reports that it could be Smith Schroyer as well, but I'm going with Bryce Elder right now because, I mean, a lot of places have Elder. Taj Bradley pitching here for Tampa Bay Rays. We'll go to Elder. First, I mean, Tampa, kind of a pesky team to start the season. So, I don't know. I mean, they don't have a ton of strikeouts in this lineup. If we're looking at, since the beginning of the last season, they have 4 righties in this lineup with strikeout rates that are pretty high. Elder, I don't know. Elder is not like this guy that I feel like is going to go out and break the slate on a big slate like this. And I feel like that's what we're looking for. Below average strikeout pitcher last season, really got hit hard by lefties. And I think Tampa has enough lefties in this lineup. So I'm probably going to pass on Elder in this spot. I promise there are some pitchers that I like today. Taj Bradley. I mean, Taj Bradley has some strikeout ability. So I always like that. Atlanta's lineup, obviously not as good as we expect it to be, throughout the season. Sean Murphy's back. That helps the lineup for sure. And I think Todd summed it up. Elder just seems like the most hittable pitcher in MLB sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I agree. So Taj Bradley's strikeout upside with the strikeouts in this lineup, I mean, Kelnick, Arcia, Dela Cruz, all strike out at a huge clip. Ozuna and Riley, we know their upside, but they've been striking out a ton to start the season. So it's one of those spots where I think you could potentially take some shots on Taj Bradley today in tournaments. As far as the Atlanta bats go, maybe Ozuna, Riley, Murphy, Olsen, like that power combo. Taj Bradley, last year, he definitely got hit a little bit harder by lefties, so I don't want to get too much into like this year. Taj Bradley does get barreled a lot, so I expect him to give up a little bit more like home runs this year with this game being outside, where Tampa being in a more hitter-friendly ballpark. So, I mean, hard contact against this offense, always playable. The Tampa side, I like Tampa a lot. Brendan Lau would probably be my favorite hitter here by far. And then you're going to get Arnanda, who has been hitting to start the season in this lineup. So he's another one I like. Missner, has been really good against righties to start the season. Mangum is someone that has like speed, so you get some stolen base upside from him, and they keep batting in like 7th and 8th, and nobody plays him, and he's just a guy when he gets on base, he's going to run. So I'm going to keep playing Tampa. I like this ballpark. I like this matchup against Elder. So I think Tampa very much in play today. San Francisco at New York facing the Yankees. 8 total in this game. We got Stroman and Ray with the Yankees a minus 122 favorite. Robbie Ray. I mean, I was really kind of excited for Robbie Ray coming into the year. There was a lot of good reports out of spring training, this pitch, this changeup, and a lot of people were excited about it. And he has just not missed any bats. He struggled with command, and he's facing one of the most powerful offenses in baseball with the Yankees here. So in Yankee Stadium, I think there's going to be times that we potentially play Robbie Ray this year. I don't think this is one of those times. I think this is a very, very tough lineup for lefties in general. And I think the Yankees are one of the top stacks on the slate today. Marcus Stroman, other side of this one. Stroman's a below-average strikeout pitcher. He faced 676 hitters last year at a 16.7% strikeout rate. He's just going to go out. He's going to pitch to contact. He's going to try to generate ground balls. He's not the type of pitcher you want to play on a 13-game slate. He doesn't really present a lot of upside. So whether you believe that he is a solid real-life pitcher or not, I mean, I just don't think you could I don't think you could play him on a 13-game slate. If he beats me, he beats me. He's like one of those guys for me. So I'm out on Stroman. San Francisco. I mean, kind of excited to play San Francisco and Yankee Stadium this weekend, just in general. Obviously, I think they have a lot of upside in any matchup. They have some fly ball hitters in this lineup, which is what you kind of want to target against Stroman. Adames, fly ball hitter. Yaz is a fly ball hitter. Chapman, more of a fly ball hitter. So, yeah, I mean, overall, I think this game has the potential to score a lot of runs. And I think this is a really good spot for both of these offenses. So I like San Francisco. Like I was saying, I think the Yankees are a top stack on the slate. Judge Goldschmidt adds another right-handed bat that hits lefties in this lineup. Volpe with the torpedo bat, getting more barrels to start the season. So I think overall, Yankees definitely a stack you want to play and get some exposure to here. Washington at Miami, taking on the Marlins. 8 total in this game. The Nationals a slight 122 favorite. We got Parker. And I've seen mixed reports here, whether it's going to be Cal Quantrill or Cabrera. I'm going to start. Well, let's start with Mitchell Parker first. The command has not been the best to start the season for Parker. He reminds me, what's funny is, I mean, they're on the same team. Mitchell Parker reminds me a lot of Mackenzie Gore. So, I mean, Mitchell Parker last season was like a slightly below average strikeout pitcher. This season, he's really not missing a lot of bats. He's giving up a lot of hard contact, and he's getting very lucky. A lot of his like balls that have been hit hard have been hit at people. I think there's potential for him to get hit hard in a matchup. I just don't know if it's the Marlins. Right? That's the problem. They don't have a lot of good right-handed hitters in this lineup. I don't think Parker is a bad tournament play today. I will say a lot of the advanced stats say that we're going to see some regression here for Mitchell Parker, but we haven't seen it against two much better offenses in Philadelphia and Arizona than the other side, where you're facing the Marlins in Miami, good pitching ballpark. So as much as I think that like looking at the advanced stats for Parker matters, I mean, he's still generating like a lot of soft contact and not getting hit very hard, generating a lot of like soft hit balls. So I think he's in play here in Miami against this team. Other side, if it is Cal Quantrill, absolutely no interest whatsoever. Cal Quantrill, below average strikeout pitcher, not a guy that I want to play in this spot. If it is Edward Cabrera, I'd want to see like pitch stats and like what they expect him to go here. Because he just threw a AAA game. So we'll have to kind of see. It was a finger injury for him, and I think I read that he pitched like 52 pitches. So if it is Edward Cabrera, I probably don't go there on Cabrera today, just because I don't think he throws more than like 75 pitches. Usually we see like a 15 to 20 pitch increase, and if 50, 55 was where he was at, we just don't expect him to go a ton of pitches here. So watch that. But if it's Cal Quantrill, no interest whatsoever. Like I said, he's a very below average strikeout pitcher. As far as the Washington bats, I will say I've played CJ Abrams more than most this year. I think CJ Abrams is a really good hitter, and I keep playing him. I know his offense isn't great, but he has some power behind him with James Wood, so he has a little bit of protection in this lineup. Ruiz, the catcher, has been hitting really solid to start the season. Nathaniel Lowe has been good. So Nate Lowe. So, I mean, I don't mind the Washington lefties at the top half of this lineup in this spot if it is Cal Quantrill. As far as the Marlins, they're cheap. We have some command issues here with Parker. I think a guy like Derek Hill, who's really cheap, that can steal bases and hit home runs, especially getting a lefty here, is a really solid play. I expect him to potentially bat towards the top of the order, and he's really cheap. The other one is like Dane Myers. We haven't seen a lot of Dane Myers, but he's definitely been better against lefties than he has been against righties, even dating back to last season. Those would be my two favorite plays for the Marlins, and they're both really cheap. So I think they're both in play. Boston and Chicago White Sox. Battle of the Sox. We have Newcomb against Martin. 8 total. The Red Sox a 174 or 175 favorite. Sean Newcomb first. 94 pitches last time out. I mean, same old story with Sean Newcomb. He just command. Can he command the baseball? If he can, he has plenty of upside. He does a really good job of generating ground balls, not getting blown up, not giving up a lot of home runs. It is the White Sox. I think the White Sox are a little bit pesky this season. But against lefties, I mean, they have a ton of righties, and Sean Newcomb is definitely better against lefties. Like, we didn't see a lot of him last year. We've only seen a little of him this year, but a lot better against lefties. I mean, $6,300 is a fair price tag for a guy that when he's on, he has some strikeout upside, but I don't think I can do it today. Davis Martin, other side of this game. We've seen a little bit of Davis Martin now. Dating back to last year, we saw him pitch, kind of a below average strikeout pitcher. There wasn't a great report from him out of spring, and I mean, he absolutely got hammered last time out by Detroit. That wasn't good, especially when you're getting hammered by the Tigers. It's a really tough matchup here against this Red Sox lineup. The top half of this lineup is really good. They're hitting a lot. I mean, if you look at current season stats for right-handed pitching against this Red Sox team, outside of Cassis, who has just been really struggling, this lineup is really good against right-handed pitching. So no interest in Davis Martin today. And yeah, I mean, I like this spot a lot for the Red Sox. And I'm not just saying this as a Red Sox fan. I just really like this spot. They profile really well against Davis Martin, a guy that gives up a lot of hard contact. His swinging strike rate really low. I was trying to quickly pull it up on Davis Martin and see where he's struggling the most. But I mean, his xWOBA and stuff, like, this is rough stuff. His xERA, you all know I don't love ERA, but his xERA is 8.5. He's bottom 5 in xERA, x batting average, whiff percentage, strikeout rate, his pitch run value. He's just not generating any misses right now. He's throwing his changeup 29% of the time, and hitters have a 589 slugging against it, X slugging. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's all systems go on the Red Sox here. He did not use his changeup this much last year, and he's throwing a little bit harder than he did last year, and his spinning, his changeup is spinning more, but like his changeup got hit hard last year, and he's using it a lot this year. So, yeah, I'm all systems go on my Red Sox today. White Sox side, I mean, Luis Robert, we know, has some upside against left-handed pitching. Austin Slater always has some upside against left-handed pitching. He should bat up towards the top of the order. Miguel Vargas should bat like third or fourth today, and he's definitely better against left-handed pitching. Trying to think if there's anybody else that I'm missing in this lineup. Andrew Vaughn against lefties always in play. So I think the top half of the White Sox lineup is in play. I mean, there's a lot of bats already, and it's interesting. I don't think Nick Matten plays against lefties, right? When they play, I think they play Sosa. I think. I could be wrong. Like, because Matten has been playing second and first, and they have Vaughn and Sosa, and I know I'm missing somebody too. The young kid, is it Baldwin? Yeah, it is Orlando. It is Orlando. Magic in the playing game. We'll see. Angels at the Astros here. We have a 9 total in this game. Man, 9 total. Astros are 142 favorite. I always mess this guy's name up. I gotta remember how to say it. I haven't had to say it yet this year. I'm gonna look it up because I mess this guy's name up all the time. I will say really quick while I'm looking this up. I hope you all listen to Grinders Live on Thursday with me and Bime4 and Roth, because Eric was so high on the Angels. Sorry, I'm looking. Kohanovic. Okay, I remember that now. Kohanovic. All right, I remember that. All right, Jack. I didn't want to butcher it that bad, so. All right. We'll start with him. Kohanovic going up against Houston. There's been a lot of talk already this year about offenses that we're used to just being so scared of. I'm not really that scared of this Houston lineup right now. I do expect them to be better than what they are currently, but I mean, currently they are not great. So I want a sandwich now. Oh man. Here's the problem with Kohanovic. He's a below average strikeout pitcher, and lefties absolutely smash him. But they have 2 lefties in this lineup on a daily basis right now. One is the catcher, Carantini, when he catches, and he's not a good hitter. And the other one is Jordan Alvarez, who's an incredible hitter. So I wrote down Kowanovic as a potential play in tournaments today. And I know it sounds a little wild. I wrote his name down and didn't remember how to pronounce it. Sup. That's what happens when you're like rushing, looking through stuff. I think he's in play. He was really solid against righties last year. I mean, 60% ground balls, only a 167 ISO against righties last year. He's not a strikeout guy. Like, he's not going to go out and get 6 strikeouts, 7 strikeouts. That's not who he is. But, I mean, when you look at this Houston lineup, if he gives up a bomb to Alvarez, you're like, all right, kind of expected that. But he uses his slider a ton, and he throws a ton of sinkers. But everything I've read about him this offseason is he's really worked on the slider. And he's faced 11 righties this year. Or, no, he's faced... Sorry, I did not mean 11. He has faced 26 righties this year. And he has thrown his slider 42% of the time. He threw it 19% of the time last year. His batting average is 0. His X batting average is 158. His X WOBA is 158. His whiff rate is 50% on the slider against right-handed hitters this year. It's a 2-game sample size, but we're working with what we're working with. There's a lot of reports about this slider. And for a guy that had a 14.1% whiff rate against righties last year, he's at 33.3% against righties this year. Chat, I think we take some shots at 6,800 and just hope that, like, we run into something before everybody else kind of picks up on it, right? I mean, he was a sinker slider guy last year. He threw 71% sliders to righties, and he threw 19% sliders. 71% sinkers, 19% sliders last year. This year, he's 42% sliders. He's throwing 31% sinkers, and his fastball 23% of the time. I think we go and we take a shot. I mean, that's just where I'm at. Like, listen, every once in a while, we trust a little bit of the data from what we've seen, and I think this is where I take a shot. I think this is where we take a shot. If he gets another 10, 15 pitches here, too. So, the reason, too, is, like, watch this lineup, because if Houston rolls out some left, I just don't, where are they going to roll out the lefties? They don't have them. They don't have them on the bench. They have a bunch of righties on the bench. They are a very right-handed heavy team. They can't even, like, pinch hit. So, anyway, that's where I'm at. I know it's like a long-winded answer. Welcome to the morning grind. When you guys get me talking pitchers, this is what happens. All right, other side of this game, we got Blanco, slightly above average strikeout pitcher last season. All right, had to get some water there. Slightly above average strikeout pitcher last year. His command has just been awful to start the season. He has a 17.6% walk rate. Command is a huge thing. Broken record for everyone that listens every day. Broken record. I hate when pitchers are struggling with command, and like I look at his advanced stats and like he's really struggling with command. He's locating his fastball a lot over the plate. His slider is ending up a lot over the plate. He's still generating a ton of whiffs with his slider, but I expect that number to come down. He's just getting hit really hard for a guy that wasn't getting hit this hard last year. The Angels are coming off of a huge spot like game on Thursday against Littell. I don't think I want to play Blanco until he proves to me his command is better. And hey, it could easily be this slate, and I'd clap for him and say, all right, move on. But I don't know. There's something about the Angels team with like Soler and Ohapi hitting behind Trout right now, and Paris looks like a stud with power and speed. So I think I'm out on Blanco today. Looking back at the data for Polanco last year, he definitely struggled with more fly balls and stuff to lefties. He got really lucky last year. I think that like Blanco with his struggles in his command, you could potentially take some shots, but I'll say this, a lot of the power bats in this lineup are right-handed, and he still has a really good slider. So I'm still very concerned about his slider against these righties. But if you're struggling with command, you're going to leave some pitches over the plate, and when that happens, you're going to get hit hard. So his fastball's been awful. He's thrown his fastball 33% of the time to right-handed hitters this year, and it has a 602 xWOBA. So fastball hitters with like Joe Adell and Ohapi, who hit fastballs really well. Mike Trout. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind like a little LA mini stack here. I don't know if they make like a top build for me today, but if they're low owned, you get these right-handed power bats in Houston with that short porch left field. So as far as the Houston bats, Yordan Alvarez, I think, is a top home run play today. But I mean, why wouldn't you just pitch around him with all the righties around him? If you can get Altuve and Paredes out, and you get Altuve up with 2 outs or nobody on, like I would pitch around him all game because that's the guy that's going to beat you. That's the left-handed power bat in this lineup. You're so good against righties, so I would be the worst like pitching coach manager in baseball because I would never pitch to Ohtani. I would never pitch to some of these guys. I would just pitch around them every at bat. I'd rather have a guy on than pitch to some of these guys. All right, Detroit at Minnesota in this one. No total out for this game. It doesn't sound like we have a pitcher yet for Minnesota. Oh, I'm seeing that we potentially do. He's not in the player pool though. I'll look that up and see if I can confirm really quick. But other side, we have Olsen. I like Olsen today. I think Reese Olsen very playable in tournaments, and it's more of have you looked at the Minnesota lineup right now? Now Buxton's hurt. Oh, he's not hurt. He left to deal with a personal matter. So we'll see if he's on lineup. Okay, I thought he had gotten hurt. So I still think this is a spot where you could take some shots on Olsen. We don't like for a 13-game slate. We have a couple like really high ceiling guys that we'll talk about when we get to them. But outside of that, like, I mean, it's really weird when my favorite pitcher on the slate is probably Nick Pivetta. If anybody has ever listened to this show before, it's really weird that like my favorite pitcher on the slate is probably Nick Pivetta. All the times that I've like talked bad about Nick Pivetta on this show. So that's kind of where we're at. So I think Reese Olsen, I think he's okay. I don't think he's anything like I don't think you're really locking in a lot of guys today. Can't find any info on this Festa guy. He's going to be a big tournament. Is he in the player pool? I don't think he's in the player pool, is he? All right, we're looking. Who is this Festa guy? David Festa? Is that who it is? All right, so we saw him last year, right? All right, hold on. Pull up his Fangraphs page really quick. David Festa. Okay, we saw Festa last year. 27.8%. K's 8.3%. Looks like he gives up a little bit more line drive fly balls than we like. But, I mean, a lot of good strikeout stuff. He's not in the player pool. So it's really hard to talk about someone not in the player pool because, like, pricing wise, is he in the FanDuel player pool? Oh, my PGA team is making money on FanDuel. I haven't checked FanDuel today, but there you go. Is he in the FanDuel play? Is like FanDuel's contest not up for tomorrow for baseball yet? I don't see FanDuel's contest up yet, so we'll have to. I could be wrong, but so I won $100 millionaire ticket on DraftKings in NASCAR this weekend, and I played Sheffy and McElroy and just played the like 4 cheap guys, and I just picked them off of like cool names. I know it sounds terrible. 3 of the 4 like random cool name guys that I picked are doing really well, and then one other guy is +5, so I need him to play good tomorrow. All right, if Festa gets added to the player pool, depending on price, if he's like under 7K, he could be super playable here. Looking at his strikeout stuff against this Detroit team, there's some strikeouts in this Detroit lineup. So this would be a really interesting one to see if he gets added and what his price is. So I got distracted a little bit there. I was trying to find FanDuel and see if they had him in the player pool, but it doesn't look like their slate is up yet. So he's 70. I'm looking right now at FanDuel, and I do not see slate for FanDuel. So maybe I'm just looking in the wrong place. All right. Bats. If it is Festa, which it sounds like it's gonna be Dave Festa. I mean, I think looking at his stats from last year, right-handed power. Thank you. Right-handed power is where I'd be looking at against him. Detroit. I mean, Torkelson maybe. You know, like if I'm going to play Torkelson, I would play my boys Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter. I don't know if I like this spot too much for Detroit. I will say the catcher Dingler he has a 570 ISO against right-handed pitching this season. And his price finally caught up to like his like power that we have seen, but Dylan Dingler is just a baseball name. Minnesota bats against Olsen. I mean, we're gonna have to see what the lineup looks like here, just over and all. But Olsen strikes out lefties at a higher clip. Olsen he gives up a lot of hard contact, but he generates a lot of ground balls. So when we're looking at bats against him, we need guys that are going to hit the ball up in the air. Wallner is that guy, but he's also the highest strikeout hitter on the team. I don't have a ton of interest in Minnesota. So I think this would be a spot. Like one of the reasons that I have some interest in Olsen is just I don't have a lot of interest in the bats for Minnesota. All right, Philadelphia at St. Louis. Nola, Palante, 7.5 total. Phillies a 135 favorite. Aaron Nola has not been off to the best start. He got Washington opening, or was it opening day? I thought he had the opening day start. I could be wrong. And then he had the Dodgers in his second start, and you don't really expect a lot of people to pitch well against the Dodgers, but you don't really expect Aaron Nola to give up 2 home runs to Washington. His stats against lefties is a huge concern to start the season. They have enough left-handed hitters in this lineup to hurt him. We know that Nola struggles more with lefties, but he's getting barreled a lot. And he's not missing a lot of bats, and that's super concerning for a guy that we need strikeout upside from. His stuff against righties is electric still. His knuckle curve, his sinker, all that stuff is really good. His out pitch against lefties is his knuckle curve. His fastball is getting absolutely slammed against lefties this year. He's already given up 2 home runs to lefties with his fastball, and he has like a 7% whiff rate. He can't get left-handed hitters out. And that's an issue against the Cardinals. They have Newbar, they have Donovan, Burleson, Victor Scott, another one. I feel like Nolan Gorman is a lefty that I'm missing. So they could put 4 or 5 lefties at Nola here at 9K, and if he's not scoring 25, I think I have to pass. I think they have enough lefties to keep Nola from scoring 25. And they have some decent righties, right? Like Arenado's a decent righty. Contreras is eventually going to hit a baseball. So I think this is a spot where I just don't know if he has his ceiling game here. I could see Nola pitching well. Aaron Nola scoring 18 points here just isn't enough. Need him to score 25 plus. Like we do have some pitchers on this slate that are going to get to 25. It's a 13 game slate. So I think I'm out on Nola today. Kind of scary, right? It's kind of scary. Because like he is Aaron Nola. Palante on the other side, Philly lineup is very tough against righties. In the offseason, they added Kepler, which is a really good pickup for them. Castellanos is actually hitting the baseball to start the season, which is good for this team. You got Bryce Harper and Schwarber at the top. Palante was really good against lefties last year. He generates a lot of ground balls. He doesn't generate a lot of whiffs. He goes out and he doesn't get blown up. And can that continue on a large scale? He did it a lot last year, and he did really good with it. It was really impressive. I mean, he does it with like a 4-seamer sinker combo, which is such a weird combo. But I mean, yeah, he just goes out and he tries to get ground balls, and he generates a lot of them, and he gets out of innings. So I don't think he's a crazy play, but I don't want to play him against this team. I will say this: Kyle Schwarber is a big fly ball hitter. Bryce Harper's a big fly ball hitter, and Kepler's a big fly ball hitter. Gorman went on the IL. I didn't know that. When did that happen? I used to have like alerts set up for IL. I don't ever look at that anymore. I knew the catcher got hurt, Herrera, but I didn't know Gorman got hurt. I still don't want to play Nola today. Philly bats, Schwarber, Harper, and Max Kepler. They hit the ball up in the air. Guys that I want to play. I don't want to stack against this guy. Stacking against this guy was miserable last year. I did it a lot. It just doesn't typically get blown up. You want to target fly ball hitters against him. Schwarber is that guy that you want to target. St. Louis lefties is where I'm targeting. It's going to be a high scoring slate. Yeah. I mean, it's a 13 game slate for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think that the Cardinals lefties are sneaky today. I don't know how many lineups I'll end up building, if it's like 3 to 5 or 20 entry max type of build day. But I think that a week ago, all right, Derek, yell at me, that's fine. I think the Cardinals lefties are sneaky in this spot. The like sneezing is so bad right now. It's been chilly in St. Louis. It's been chilly in Florida too. It's been like 80 the last couple days. Milwaukee at Arizona. Thank you. Marquez against Pavetta, right? No, Milwaukee at Arizona. I read it backwards. 8.5 total. Quintana against Rodriguez. Arizona 138 favorite. Jose Quintana making his first start of the season. He did not. Okay, so he built up a little bit. I have no idea what to expect. I looked and tried to find some data on what to expect pitch count wise for him. I have no idea. I know they were talking about it on the broadcast the other night that he made a AAA start. I assume he throws probably like 75 to 80 pitches here. I don't want to play him regardless. I mean, I could just say that. I don't want to play him regardless. I mean, last year was a 19% K rate guy. He's not he goes out and he tries to generate ground balls, and he's going from pitching half his games in Citi Field to pitching half his games in Milwaukee. I don't think he's going to have as much success this year. So I don't love this spot for him. We have Eduardo Rodriguez on the other side, coming off of a huge strikeout game. I mean, that's the type of games that he's capable of producing. Big strikeout games. You kind of get like, I don't know, you kind of get Milwaukee coming off of a core series. The ball's going to be a little bit different to see here. I don't think it's crazy to take a shot on Erod. I do like to every once in a while pick on teams coming out of cores, just because the ball is going to move differently that first game. And they played in cores on Thursday, so they did not hit on Thursday. Oh my gosh, who else tilted Milwaukee on Thursday with me? I think I'm going to play a little bit of Eduardo Rodriguez today. I definitely prefer left-handed pitching against this offense than right-handed pitching. As far as the Milwaukee bats, if you are playing Milwaukee, I think it's Cheerio, Contreras, Hoskins, Joey Ortiz. Those are the guys that are typically good against lefties. Quintana against Arizona. I mean, Suarez, obviously, very good against lefties. They do have a lot of lefties in this lineup. We're going to see a lot of platoon here. Gary L should be in the lineup. Grichuk should be in the lineup. They're very good against left-handed pitching. What's his name? Hold on. I'm going to look it up really quick to see. No, he's on the IL. He is getting close to being back. Blaze Alexander, I always liked him against lefties last year. So Arizona, I would target the right-handed bats, and probably more as like a mini stacks or one-offs here. I don't love the idea of Quintana, but I mean, lefty, I don't think is, for what it's worth, I don't think lefty is too crazy here with Jose Quintana. I mean, if we look last year, he had a 209 ISO, 330 WOBA against lefties, but does generate a little bit more ground balls against left-handed hitters. But I mean, Carroll, Pavin Smith, I mean, these guys have a little bit of upside against lefties, but Suarez would be my favorite play from Arizona. Colorado at San Diego. Now it's Herman Marquez against Nick Pivetta. 7 total in this game. Padres a huge 218 favorite. We'll start here with Marquez. I do tend to like Marquez a lot more on the road. San Diego's lineup right now, we'll have to see what it looks like. Tatis dealing with a little bit of a shoulder, left the game. I think it was the 4th or 5th inning the other night. Cronenworth, he's dealing with like a ribs injury. I mean, if we're not getting Tatis and Cronenworth in this lineup, Merrill is on the IL. It might not be the craziest thing to take some like tournament shots on Herman Marquez here. But I mean, his command is looking at his command issues. Like you almost want Cronenworth and Tatis to be in the lineup because you want to play these San Diego bats. I don't know. I don't think I get to Marquez, but I just want to point out that you definitely want to check the San Diego lineup when it comes out. Pivetta, I kind of already said it. He's my favorite pitcher on the slate. I mean, the Rockies are atrocious. They're so bad. And Nick Pivetta, while he is a guy that gives up a lot of fly balls, and I mean, I do think pitching in this ballpark is going to help him long term this year. We know we're going to get some strikeouts here. We know we're going to get strikeouts in general against this Rockies team. They scored some runs yesterday. Good for them. They're bad. They're really bad. They're historically bad. Chris Bryant is just, with the injuries in the back, just not the same. But Nick Pivetta, Like I said, he's my top pitcher today. I don't have any interest in the Rockies bats. The San Diego bats, it will. I mean, it just kind of depends on like who's in there. Like I said, Herman Marquez not a huge strikeout guy. He struggles with command. So if we get our normal lineup in there for San Diego, I think that you could definitely take some shots. Machado, Tatis, Cronenworth would be my favorites here. Gavin Sheets. Y'all knew you knew that was coming. Come on. Texas at Seattle, 6.5 total in this game. The Rangers a 130 favorite. DeGoat, my boy Jake, going up against Bryce Miller. We'll start here with Jacob deGrom. It's great seeing him back in the majors, pitching, healthy, somewhat healthy. Got hit a little bit last time out by Tampa. Gets a good matchup here against Seattle. I think like you have to take some shots on DeGrom in this spot. Not feeling comfortable about it. We haven't seen if it's Jacob deGrom from 3 years ago yet or not. But I will say this. His strikeout stuff definitely looks like it's there. 28% whiffs, 16.8% swinging strikes so far. Seattle strikes out a ton, especially against right-handed pitching. Like if you look at their current lineup, Rosarina striking out at a huge clip. Julio Rodriguez is striking out at a huge clip. Rowdy Tellez, we know. So the bottom half doesn't have any power, and they have some strikeout ability. The top half, he has to pitch good against Julio and Polanco and Rosarina and Cal Riley, but 9,500 on a slate that we have a lot of options. His pitch count probably closer to 90 pitches here. I think we got to take some shots. He was pitching okay against Tampa. He got hit hard in that 6th inning. So I think DeGrom is where you got to take some shots. My boy, you all know. I hope my boy Jake does well. For anyone that doesn't know, I played baseball against DeGrom. He's local to me. If you're not a longtime listener, and if you haven't heard me talk about how we used to play high school basketball against each other and baseball. Bryce Miller pitching here. I mean, Miller off to a really cold start. Not missing a lot of bats. We know like the capability of this pitching rotation, but I do not like what I see so far from this guy. And I think Texas is a team that can punish you enough that you're just like, all right, I probably don't want to play Bryce Miller in this spot. One of the reasons that I like DeGrom even more, I mean, I think that he's going to get some run support here. I don't know. His fastball has not been as good as it was last year. The velocity is down slightly. The sinker velocity is down slightly. So just velocity in general seems down for him right now. He'll probably bounce back and pitch well. Some of his advanced stats are showing that there's some positive regression coming. But, I mean, no. I think this is a spot you want to stay away from Bryce Miller tonight. Kind of like Texas. Wish it was a different ballpark. Man. I don't know why I'm sneezing so much. I don't know. But it's driving me crazy. Texas bats against Miller. I mean, like I said, he's kind of getting hit hard here. Obviously, always have interest in Corey Seager. My boy Wyatt Langford on the IL. Hopefully he's okay. Josh Jock Peterson is struggling right now. We didn't see Jock strike out this much last year. So, I mean, there's something going. I do not have a cat. I am not a cat person. So I think Texas is a really interesting like 3-man. I don't think I get to a full Texas stack. I don't know if I get to Texas at all, but if I was playing them, it'd be more of a mini type of stack. No real interest in Seattle. I'm not picking on Jacob deGrom on a 13-game slate, even if he struggles. I mean, it is what it is. Like, he's good enough, even not like Cy Young, Jacob deGrom. Like, he's good enough that I think this is a spot where I don't see him getting like blown up enough. So, all right, we got this game is fun. This game is fun baseball. We got the Mets and the Athletics. 10 total in this baseball game. This baseball game is fun. I mean, I'm not a cat person. I mean, if you're a cat person, power to you. I'm not a dog person. I have kids, and that's enough. Like, if you have kids, you feel me? No story. No story about cats. Just don't like them. All right, 10 total. Mets a 135 favorite. We got Canning and Sears facing off against each other. I mean, this game screams runs. This ballpark seems awesome. What a ballpark upgrade for the Mets here. So we'll start with Griffin Canning, coming over from the Angels last year or this offseason. He is off to a really solid start. Strikeouts are looking good, generating ground balls. I'm not believing it yet. I really am not believing it yet. He is getting hit extremely hard. I don't think he can keep these ground balls up. I think Griffin Canning is going to get hammered in a start. And why not in this ballpark against the Athletics? I just don't think he can keep up a 60% ground ball rate. And he's doing it without like throwing a sinker a lot. He's really just kind of relying on a slider and generating ground balls with a slider. And his fastball shows some like positive or negative regression. I just don't see it with Canning. I think that this lineup is capable of scoring a ton of runs, and I think it's going to happen today. I talked about the Yankees earlier as one of my favorite stacks. The New York Mets, right up there with you, right up there with them. I love this spot for the Mets today. JP Sears on. Or I love this spot for the Athletics. Why did I say Mets? Love this spot for the Athletics. They're a top stack for me. Sorry, I totally said the names wrong. I was looking at JP Sears, and that's why I said it. All right, JP Sears, other side, pitched really well. His first start of the season, not shocking. It was against Seattle. Seattle still looks to be a team that we're going to do really well with left-handed pitching this year. Terrible spot for JP Sears, and the New York Mets should hit him hard in this spot. Huge ballpark upgrade. He gives up a lot of hard contact to righties. So Pete Alonso, Sterling Marte, Mark Vientos. I don't think I said Lindor. Juan Soto is great, lefty. Sears a below average strikeout pitcher, and I mean this is his first start. So I like both sides of the bats in this game. Going to the Athletic bats, I mean, I'm going to load up on him. I don't believe in Griffin Canning. That's what I was trying to get at. I don't believe in Griffin Canning. I like the Athletics a lot here. Soderstrom is off to a really strong start. He's still, I feel like he's way underpriced for the production. Like, this guy has 6 home runs and he's 4,400. Like, what are we doing? Juan Soto has 1 home run and he's 6,200. Like, Bengaliers, Blade, my boy Roker, Butler. I mean, I'm going to play a lot of Athletics. I think like my 3 main teams in like my 3-entry max build today is likely going to be Yankees, Mets, Athletics. I think those are like my 3 first look teams that I'll probably play in like my 3-entry max builds. All right, we finish it out. Cubs, Dodgers. we're getting there. 13 games. Appreciate everyone. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. That's the best way to support the show. There is Super Chat if you want to support the show. Or over there on Twitter, at Stevietpfl, there is a tips Venmo button. And I know some of you have sent that, so I really, really appreciate it. I do appreciate you all. 8 total in this game. Dodgers a 205 favorite. We have Yamamoto against Boyd. Matt Boyd has been awesome to start the season. He's pitched really well against Arizona, and he's pitched really well against San Diego. I have always said I think Matthew Boyd has talent, but I don't think I don't think I could do it looking at his advanced stats. I don't think he can necessarily keep this up, and I don't think he could keep it up against the Dodgers. So for all those reasons, I'm probably out a little bit. I will say this. He is throwing harder this year. It's a small, very small sample size, but his average fastball is almost a full mile an hour higher than it was last year. Like Easy's saying, there is some regression, definitely. I like the fastball increase. Hate the matchup. I really hate this matchup for him against Dodgers. I don't think he's the craziest MME pitcher today. If you do believe in this fastball, he's going to be very low owned. I think the Dodgers are definitely going to be a team that overall is better against right-handed pitching than they are against left-handed pitching. So, I mean, there's that. Yamamoto, other side here. I mean, Yamamoto definitely in play strikeout-wise. The Cubs seem to be really solid this year. Adding Kyle Tucker, I've talked about this a lot. It's just a huge increase. But you look at, like, some of the strikeout numbers, and you expect some regression here from, like, years past. Michael Busch has, like, a 14% K rate. Like, we know that's going to go up. He was 29% last year. Suzuki was, like, 29% last year. So I think talent-wise, he's in play. I just personally, I mean, I told you guys, I would rank Pivetta over him matchup-wise. I think that Cubs are a good offense. It's a tougher matchup. As far as the bats, man, I don't know. We didn't see a ton of struggles for Yamamoto last year. Doesn't give up a ton of hard contact either. I think I'm out on the Cubs bats today. As far as the Dodgers bats go, I'm not a big believer in Matthew Boyd. We didn't see him a ton last year. When we did see him, it was definitely right-handed power bats that got to him. Like the velocity increase, like his potential. The Dodgers are going to be really low owned on a 13-game slate. So for that reason, I mean, ownership-wise, I have some like slight interest in them because of that. All right. Let's play the morning grind game, and then we'll get out of here. Long one. That's a long one. Under 8K to get 6 or more strikeouts. Under 8K to get 6 or more strikeouts. All right. Man, I'm looking at my notes here, and I don't love a lot of these guys. I think it's Olsen or Parker. I think it's Olsen or Parker. Festa, if he gets added, maybe. Yeah, I see chat with that. Over 8K to score under 15. My bust today. This one's easy for me. I'm going with Bryce Miller. Really don't like what I'm seeing so far out of Bryce Miller. Not missing a lot of bats. Got to miss bats, my friend. Got to get your command down. Over 4K to hit a home run. I bet you guys can almost guess this one, but I'm going to say it anyway. Give me Soderstrom. Gosh, he's just raking. And he's going to rake in this ballpark all year long. Under 4K to score 10? Yeah, 10 points or more. Oh, there was somebody I really, really liked, and I forgot to write it down. Hold on, I gotta scroll. Oh, I forget who it was. I think it was from Arnanda. Arnanda was the guy. I knew it was somebody in one of those really early games. Jonathan Arnanda is who I like for 10 plus points. I think Tampa lefties are in a really good spot today against I'm blanking, right? Elder. Stack to score 6 or more runs. I'm going with the Yankees. Give me, and like, it pains me. You all know I'm a Red Sox fan. It pains me when we get into this, but Robbie Ray. It's Robbie Ray. We like Robbie Ray. We like picking on Robbie Ray. It's always really fun to pick on Robbie Ray, right? Oakland or the Mets? I was looking, no player props up yet, so that's always fun. See, on the Hard Rock, I was checking to make sure. So my 3-pick parlay for today is Yankees to beat the Giants, Padres to beat the Rockies. I know you got to pay a lot of juice on that one, and over 9.5 in the Mets Athletics game. It's 9.5 on the Hard Rock. It's still 9.5 on the Hard Rock. So shop that around. I know it's 10 on some books, but you get this. I'm getting it at plus 377. I like it. Or ice, man. I feel like 2 out of 3, like so many times to start the season on the 3-pick parlays. So had a really good betting day on Thursday, of course, when I didn't do the podcast. I did give out Ty France as a home run at plus 750 on crunch time. So hopefully you guys watch that. I know a couple people talked about it at the beginning of the show. So Toronto done anything, I would have taken down some tournaments. I had a Toronto Angel stack that was really good. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. I have not looked at the baseball schedule for next week. I've been trying really hard to post the shows early on YouTube so you all know. So I don't know when the next show will, whether it be Monday or Tuesday, but I'll be back next week, either Monday or Tuesday. I will try to post it early on YouTube so you all know. Appreciate you all. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you then.